All right, everybody, this is going to be the review for Earth Science 104. I'm doing this during dismissal, so you're going to hear some announcements. All right, so the first thing is heat moves in three ways: by conduction, convection, and radiation. Now, conduction requires contact. Convection is a moving fluid like air or ocean water. Radiation
to the side and fourth grade Marley to the side. Santi and Marley to the side, please.
Radiation is electromagnetic waves, and that's how the sun's energy gets from the sun to the earth. There's no fluid between the earth and the sun, so there cannot be convection. The earth and the sun are not touching, so it cannot be conduction. So the only way for energy to get from the sun to the earth is radiation. All right? Because of things like convergent boundaries, divergent boundaries, transform boundaries, mid-ocean ridge, and seafloor spreading, the Earth's lithosphere is constantly changing.
We're waiting on Lily Russo out back, please. Lily Russo out back.
All right? If we have a steep slope with trees on it, those trees, their roots are going to help hold the soil in place. Now, you take that same hill, and if it's been deforested and there are rains, then you've got a steep hill, you've got rain, you're going to have a lot of erosion. So the soils are going to be thinner and they're going to be poor. Okay, so steep hill, excessive rains are going to cause more erosion.
First grade Gabriella, kindergarten Jameson to the side.
All right. Ocean currents are a circular pattern that are the result of Coriolis effects. Okay? And the Coriolis effect has nothing to do with toilets or sink drains. It only is about wind and ocean currents and the way they appear to turn because the earth is rotating under those wind currents. Okay? When we burn coal, that produces carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and sulfur oxides. And these compounds, this is a greenhouse gas. CO2 is a greenhouse gas. But these compounds, they can actually chemically combine with H2O and form acids like nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Okay? So the use of fossil fuels lead to sulfur and nitrogen emissions, and those emissions can lead to acid rain. Now, all rain is a little acidic, but anything more acidic than normal is considered acid rain. And we've made a lot of progress in preventing severely acidic rain, but it is still a concern. So the auroras, the aurora borealis and the aurora australis, happen because of interactions of charged particles from the sun and the Earth's magnetic field. And you see the auroras at the poles, North and South Pole. But they actually occur in the thermosphere, okay, which is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. So the auroras occur in the thermosphere.
We need Ava Kovatir to the side, please. Ava Kovatir to the side.
CO2 is a greenhouse gas, and the greenhouse gas trap heat. Because they trap heat, if there's more CO2 in the atmosphere, the planet is going to warm. The temperature is going to increase. Now, oddly enough,
first grade James to the side, please. First grade James to the side.
So sea turtles come on shore and they dig a hole and they lay their eggs in that hole in the sand, and they cover them up and they go back to the ocean. And the eggs hatch and they fend for themselves. They have to get to the ocean before they get eaten by a predator.
Fifth grade Brianna to the front. Fifth grade Brianna to the front.
Okay. Now, if the sea turtle eggs are warmer as they develop inside the egg, they're more likely to be female. And if the nest is cooler, they're more likely to be male. And so then the question is, if the planet continues to warm up because of the increased carbon dioxide, what effect would that have on the sea turtle population? Well, you guessed it. If the planet becomes warmer, the nests are going to be warmer. And that's going to mean there's going to be more female eggs. Now, that may not mean anything, but if there are more females than males, then it's going to be hard to keep this species going. All right, native species, reducing fertilizer use, pesticide use, controlled burns, all of these are good things. They are good for the environment. Draining wetlands are bad. Okay, just try to avoid it at all costs. Less freshwater flowing into the Everglades leads to a less native species. Now, what is the Everglades? I hear you asking. Oops, that's probably not going to work. Let me go here. And we'll go here. Everglades. So the Everglades are parts of Florida, the southern tip. They're down here, if you can see my cursor. But they're down on the southern tip. These are the Florida Key Islands, that kind of chain of islands there. But right here, this is the Everglades. And you can see, let's see here. Can I switch this to... yeah, satellite, that's what I want. So all this is water, and then you have some land, and
still waiting on lovely Salcedo in the back. Lovely Salcedo in the back.
I don't know what happened. Well, anyway, so Everglades are wetlands. They're estuaries, they're wetlands, they're swamps, and so if less fresh water is flowing into them from the land, then there's less habitat for native species. And you could have salt water intruding from the ocean into those estuaries, making them more salt than fresh, and that could also cause a problem for native species. All right, so I'll stop there. I'll see you tomorrow in class for Earth 104.